as you are getting comfortable, you can just first check in with your posture and the physical body. I think it's often the most helpful to start on the surface, start on the skin, the body, the muscles, and then start to sink in deeper and work our way into ourselves. So you can start by getting some kinks out if you need to, just checking in with the spine and how it's feeling today, that center line of your body, the space from the pelvic floor through the back of the throat, and feel the relationship between the shoulders and the hips. And check in with the hips as well, and just notice if there's any rigidness or tightness in the hips. I find that sometimes when I'm sitting, especially, not as much when I'm laying down, but when I'm sitting, if I don't think about it, then my hips are kind of like this and like really holding me up like too tight and rigidly. And then just by noticing that, sometimes they'll just like soften into place and just like accept the position that they're in, kind of. So yeah, if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, you can allow the eyes to close whenever you feel ready. And you can mark your arrival today to this practice with a full, deep cleansing breath. Inhaling fully through the nose. And just pausing when you are totally full of air, just noticing what that feels like to be full. And then as you need to, letting that breath go through the nose, slowly decompressing, and pushing a little bit extra air out of you even once you think you're empty. And then pause in that emptiness. And allowing the next breath to come as it needs to. You can breathe just like that a few more times, just exaggerating the inhale, the pause at the top of the inhale, the exhale, and the pause at the bottom of the exhale. Just to slow down the body, slow down the mind, the nervous system. It's by intentionally slowing down and exaggerating the breath. And at any point, you can release the guidance over your breath and just feel yourself almost step back and up in your mind and come into that role of the observer, the witness, the one who is witnessing the body breathing. As you remember that your breath does not require your doing. Your body will breathe regardless of you telling it to. And start to let your awareness rest across the face, starting with just the skin of your face, the surface, that first barrier, protecting your face, the inside of your head, from the world around you. And just notice if there's any muscles that are resisting or tightening just naturally, just in a resting position of tightness. And I think for most of us, this will be our forehead and eyebrows and jaw. I've noticed lately that my chin holds a lot of tension without noticing it. So just by scanning your face and the muscles that are in your face, remembering how many muscles are in your face, we can begin to soften and begin to let go. So just allow your forehead to get a little bit wider, take up some more space just by releasing those muscles. You can imagine all the tiny little muscles around your lash line and your eyelids, those ones that scrunch up when you squeeze your eyes shut, maybe even squeezing the eyes shut just to activate them and feel them. And then feel the opposite and totally release them and let them go. And just allow the eyelids to be resting over the eyeballs. And even feeling the eyeballs resting in their sockets. Just readjusting yourself to the world of your inner vision. Accepting that we are not looking at the outside world for the next 20 minutes or so. And just turning your focus to your inside world. Maybe even feeling the eyeballs start to sink back and down as you gaze into the forehead, or even back further into the brain itself. And just noticing anything that you see, anything at all, even if it's just darkness. Just looking into that darkness, just starting to really activate your sense of sight. And as you do this, you can allow the jaw to hang heavy. Allow the tongue and the chin to relax. Even the nostrils. So that you feel this sense that almost all the muscles on the face are just leaning back or letting go from the bones. You can feel even the ears soften, the hairline softens, the scalp, all the little hair follicles. And then just start to bring attention to your sense of sound, your sense of listening. So you bring attention into the ears. And just listening to all the sounds that exist in your world right now. Even if you're in a somewhat loud environment, if you're in places that you might label some sounds as annoying or distracting at first, just using that as an opportunity to practice detaching from that and listening to the sounds for what they are. And you can let every sound, no matter how quiet or loud, you can let every sound be a reminder of this moment. Sounds only exist in this moment. So noticing if there's any tendency to wander to the past, if your mind's thinking about anything at all that happened before this exact moment, even the beginning of this practice. And you can notice if your mind's wandering to the future, maybe trying to multitask and be efficient and get things planned as you sit here. And just know that that is completely normal and expected. And noticing that is a part of this practice. And you can also know that as you notice the mind wandering, you're automatically back in the role of the observer and the witness. That is always here in this moment with the senses, with your sense of sight, with your sense of sound. Now paying attention to your sense of smell, noticing any aromas that are entering your nose as you breathe in. Noticing your sense of taste. And your sense of touch. It's even the texture of the surface you are sitting on, or the temperature of the air touching your skin, or the fabric of the clothes touching your skin. And just starting to awaken all of your senses knowing that these all exist in this moment, and they can be a really great tool to bring you back if you find yourself getting caught up in the mind. And bringing attention back to the sound of, back to your sense of sound, and really listen to all the different layers of sounds around you. You can try to tune in to whatever is furthest away from you, even if that is just a humming of the lights in the other room, or the refrigerator, or a plane going by, some traffic in the distance, maybe some birds, wherever you happen to be. Just starting to bring awareness to you, where your body is in space, and what you can tune into that is furthest away from you. Just noticing how far your senses can reach. And then listening to the sounds in the room that you are in. Even if it is just the sound of silence, just noticing that even silence has a sort of sound to it. And noticing all those layers in between. And just letting your attention be drawn to certain sounds that grab your attention, and listen there. And then as your attention is drawn somewhere else, let yourself listen there. It's kind of dancing through your awareness of sound. And can even include your body with this, the sound of your heartbeat, the sound of your digestion, the sound of you swallowing, or any creaks your body's making, any sounds at all that's coming from inside of you. And then as you start to listen inside, you can let your shoulders drop. You can let your arms fully relax, your hands fully soften into place, allowing for any natural curving of the fingers. Allow the rib cage to soften on your heart and on your lungs. Allow the stomach to soften, the hips, pelvic floor, glutes. Allow the legs to soften into place, and the feet, and even the toes. As you just allow your body to fully accept this present position that you are in, this present moment, and everything about it. The sounds, what you see, smell, taste, feel. Just trusting that everything always happens exactly as it should. You showed up here to this practice today for a reason. And just letting yourself fully accept that and fully receive what you are meant to receive from this. Bringing that attention now into your stomach. And just letting the full shape of your stomach exist. You don't have to feel the need to hold your stomach in any certain position or way. And the softness of your stomach welcomes the air to travel into the stomach as you breathe in and out. So feeling that gentle rise of the belly with your inhales, and the gentle fall with your exhales. And on either side of your inhale and exhale, you might start to notice a slight heartbeat that exists in your stomach, a slight pulsing sensation. And maybe not, that's okay too. But just feeling any sensations at all that you feel in the stomach, even if there is pain that exists there right now, challenging yourself to sit with that pain instead. Oftentimes, if there is an area of pain in the body, we do everything in our power to distract and to run away from that, to numb, to cover it up. So whether you have pain right now in your stomach or anywhere in your body at all, you can use this time as an opportunity to just check in with that pain. It's not easy to look at it and to sit with it every moment of the day, but just taking even just a few seconds where you can stand to just feel it fully, to just look directly at it, to accept that there is pain present or there is discomfort present, and just looking at it, sitting with it, feeling it. It can really, really help us to move on from it. It's often the opposite of what we expect will happen. I think we get scared if we give something attention, it will just grow and take over. But when it comes to pain in our body, I find oftentimes the opposite is true. It's kind of like our body's just like a little kid who just wants attention. The little kid is just like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," just over and over again. And if you ignore that kid, then they're going to start throwing a temper tantrum and throwing things just to get your attention. But if you just look at them and say, "What?" Just say, "Hi." They just want attention. And our bodies can be the same way. So just feeling a deep sense of compassion for yourself and for your body. And if you're nursing any injuries right now, or even just emotional injuries, I think we probably all are nursing. Just remembering how we are never alone in our struggles. We are never alone in what we experience, even when we feel very alone. We are never truly on our own. And even if we just have to be there for ourselves, even if you are your only company, just remembering that there is a you inside that can really witness everything and have compassion for what you've been through, what you're going through, and what you will go through. You can look back at your journey and the things you've experienced and acknowledge how hard it was to go through. Acknowledge that life isn't easy and that you've lived through things that you wouldn't have thought you could live through. Just remembering your resilience, remembering your power in everything that you have experienced just to get to this point. Knowing that that is a triumph. Just the fact that you are alive right now and have the ability to hear these words, your heart is beating, that is a triumph. That is something to be proud of yourself for. Any number of things could have gone wrong up to this point in your long life that would not have allowed you to be here. But they didn't go wrong. They went right, and you are here. Even if things felt like they were really wrong in the moment of happening. Every single thing no matter how negative or positive, has gotten you to this point. And just remembering the magic of that, the miracle of that. How you are never off track. You never stray away from where you are supposed to be. And straying away is a part of it. We are meant to, so one of my friends said this yesterday, we are meant to wander from our center so that we more clearly understand where our center is. So just having that compassion for yourself when you don't do the things you know you're supposed to do, and maybe where you do binge watch all the shows and eat all the junk food, because that is wandering from your center. And then you can remember what your center is and what makes you feel good and where you want to be. And just allowing for those reminders and letting yourself make mistakes. Trusting that mistakes are just as important as making, not mistakes, I don't know the word for that, but making the right decision. If there is a right decision. So, feeling your stomach, accepting these words, these messages. Your stomach, your solar plexus, is your home of self-worth, confidence in yourself, in your journey, your sense of worthiness in general. And just communicate to yourself on a deep, deep level. Or just tune in with your deep knowledge in your stomach already that's there. That you are worthy of all the great things. You are worthy of feeling good. You are worthy of being happy. You are worthy of success, of joy, of love. And living in this worthiness it has to start with ourselves. It has to start from the inside. And when we communicate this to ourselves, when we feel this sense for ourselves, when we look at us in the mirror or in our memories, our journey, feeling that sense of love and compassion and worth for ourselves. And then letting any other affirmations of worthiness from the outside just be that extra boost, but not relying on that outward approval. And as you bring some attention into your heart space, just remembering that all the love that has ever existed, ever, is inside of you already. Remembering how your essence has come from a source of energy, and that source, whatever you believe it to be, holds all the love ever made that is possible. And since you are an extension of that source, since you are the essence of that source, that means that you have access to all of that love. And there is nothing you need to do to earn that love. There is no outward thing. There's no searching. There's no task. There's no one more thing you need to do in order to be worthy or in order to receive love. It's already all inside of you. And when we catch ourselves with that narrative of trying to earn appreciation, earn love, we can just remind ourselves that we already have it all, and that we instead can do things from that love that we have and not for love. Can take all the love that's in us already and use that as our energy to move about life, to wake up, to cook, to clean, to play and dance and talk and share, create. And just remembering that this is you and this is who you are. And no matter how far away you stray, you can always come back. If it feels like something you want to do, you can let your hands rest on your body, maybe on your heart, maybe on your stomach, maybe both, maybe somewhere entirely different. But just letting your hands be drawn to the area that they're needed most, trusting that intelligence of your instincts. And just feeling the connection between your palms and your body. As you remember the connection between your heart and your hands. That internal connection where your hands have the power to heal, to create, to love. And just by being aware of that, we can grow that. Just by being aware of the love that is inside of you, that is what grows your love. So if you want to seal this practice with your hands at a prayer position at heart center, you can do so. And just feel the connection of your palms to each other now. Feel that you are closing that circuit of energy surrounding your heart, from the hands, through the arms, through the back of the heart, and back around. And as you take a really deep breath in, you can feel your body expanding and getting big. And as you exhale, you can allow your head to bow. As you bow to your Maker, that source that your love has come from, whatever you believe that to be, bowing to your ability to hear, to feel, to see, to smell and taste, to those gifts, bowing to your angels, ancestors, spirits, guides, whatever name you might have for that love, guidance, and support that's all around you all the time. Bowing to everyone in this space for their openness and for completing this practice alongside you. But most importantly, bow to yourself, to your body, to your mind, and to trusting your instincts and for showing up today. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring this love into everything that you do and to everyone that you see. Namaste.